Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by Shin Yuanit, the Pakistani Foreign Ministry has announced that the United States and Iran will hold technical talks in Switzerland on Sunday. The announcement was made through an official statement released by the ministry in Islamabad. While details regarding the specific agenda of the meeting remain limited, the talks mark a significant diplomatic development between Washington and Tehran, monitored closely by regional and international observers. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, the United States and Japan officially launched their large-scale joint military exercise, Resolute Dragon, on June 2026. The drill spans 15 locations across Kyushu and Okinawa, primarily focusing on defending Japan's southwestern islands. Approximately 7,300 members of the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force and 2,300 U.S. Marines are participating in the 11-day event, which runs until June 30th. The defense exercise aims to enhance bilateral command and control, multi-domain mobility, and counterstrike capabilities, featuring simulations of anti-ship missile interceptions. Japanese military officials highlighted the importance of strengthening deterrence in the Indo-Pacific amid growing regional challenges. To address rising security threats from China, Russia, and North Korea, Japan plans to raise its defense spending to 2% of its GDP by 2027 while advancing its missile strike range. However, the timing of Resolute Dragon has sparked local protests in Okinawa, as it closely coincides with the June 23 commemoration of the historical Battle of Okinawa. 10 civic groups have called for the exercise to be canceled. According to Al Jazeera, Begoña Gomez, the wife of Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, has been barred from leaving the country as she prepares to face trial on corruption and influence peddling charges. Investigating Judge Juan Carlos Peinado ruled that Gomez must surrender her passport and appear in court twice a month until a verdict is reached. Gomez is accused of embezzlement, corruption in business, and misappropriation of funds, particularly concerning her role at Madrid's Complutense University. She has consistently denied any wrongdoing, and Prime Minister Sanchez has dismissed the allegations as a politically motivated campaign by far-right and right-wing groups to undermine his government. The case adds to growing political pressure on Sanchez, as several of his close allies and former ministers are also facing corruption probes. Despite the escalating scandals and opposition calls for his resignation, Sanchez has refused to step down or call early elections. According to a report by the Epoch Times, the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, has detected significant activity at 2 Cuban intelligence facilities using recent satellite imagery. Notably, expansion work at the Besiege listening station, located near Havana and suspected of having links to the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has been completed. The facility now features a massive, newly constructed circularly disposed antenna array, CDAA, consisting of 32 antennas. This advanced array is designed to intercept and locate high-frequency radio signals over a broad spectrum. Given Beije's strategic location just 90 miles from the Florida coast, this development could substantially enhance the capabilities of Cuba and its partners, such as China, to monitor sensitive U.S. military sea and air operations in the Caribbean and southeastern coast. Conversely, construction at another suspected site, El Salao, remains largely stalled. As the U.S. administration continues to ramp up sanctions against the Cuban regime for harboring foreign hostile intelligence operations, these surveillance facilities are expected to become major geopolitical flashpoints in future bilateral negotiations. According to a report by Sing Tao, South Korea is experiencing ongoing unrest following a flawed local election on June 3rd, which was plagued by ballot shortages at multiple polling stations. Far-right protesters have taken to the streets for 16 consecutive days. On June 100, but demonstrators gathered around the Olympic Park handball arena in Seoul, loudly demanding a re-election and manual ballot counting. Despite a decline in crowd size from the previous weekend, the protest remained organized, with some participants setting up tents for a long-term stay. The demonstrations have begun to disrupt public life and sports events. Reports indicate that protesters blocked sports officials and athletes from entering the venue and went as far as inspecting the personal belongings of the women's national handball team. Additionally, journalists reporting on site were assaulted by the crowd. In response, police deployed 8 tactical units, totaling approximately 600 officers to the scene to maintain order and prevent further clashes. Authorities have initiated investigations into the assaults and have already identified several suspects. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.